Hi, I'm Eric Holt, and we're running some errands.
So it's outdoor season. How's training going?
I'm feeling good. I was banged up this indoor season, had a couple injuries, but I'm finally healthy and we're ramping up the mileage. I'm hitting 100 miles a week, doing 2 double thresholds a week. So a lot of running, a lot of endurance, a lot of heavy lifting as well. 2 or 3 gym sessions a week, 1 speed development, and a lot of hill workouts. So right now we're just the Team Empire Elite. We're training really hard, and I think we're doing really well as a team.
So Eric, tell me, what are we shopping for?
So I like getting the cranberry walnut loaf bread. If you know, you know. This is like the staple of any Costco, and I love this. Can't get enough. Maybe not the healthiest, but for a quick carb treat, definitely get some of this bread. When you're running workouts and you need your electrolytes, the best thing to get in bulk is liquid IV. You always want to get this because, especially when you're doing your double threshold, you want to make sure you have enough energy, enough electrolytes. So I always make sure I got one of these with me. So crazy, everything's everywhere, so you gotta just look for what you need and try to, remain focused. As a runner, you wanna make sure you got plenty of carbs, you got plenty of protein. I try to have at least close to 100 grams of protein per day, and that means buying a lot of fish, meat, poultry. And a lot of this is the cheapest you can get it because you're getting it in bulk. So you gotta make sure you're organized, you get your Ziploc bags, you're getting it every day, and you're trying to also get more or less healthy stuff. But once in a while you can treat yourself a little bit. This is what I love. I'm a big fish eater. I'm a big believer in this. This is one thing I eat a lot of. What I get is some salmon. I'll eat salmon, especially this week. I eat it kind of quick. I'll probably eat this in around 3 to 4 nights. And I'll eat it with a bunch of jasmine rice and a good salad to boot. So this is something I think is a must as a runner. I think there's nothing healthier than fish, I'm gonna get some oranges. I try to every day get 2 or 3 pieces of fruit a day. Obviously people take vitamin C gummies, but I try to get it at least from the fruit. And like I said, just so this is also good, instead of having sugar, having it in a fruit form. This is a bit healthier. Definitely helps you lose a little weight. My favorite fruit is kiwis. I love kiwis, can't get enough of it. I'm a little crazy about kiwis. I actually don't peel off the skin. I sometimes just eat it as is. I know a lot of people don't do that, but it's a little weird, but I can't get enough kiwis, man. One of my favorite fruits. Teammates get so mad at me because I don't peel them, I'll just eat them. And they're like, dude, you gotta peel it, man. But I don't know, my dad kind of ate kiwis without peeling them, and I know it's a little weird, but I love kiwis, man. Sweet potatoes are very easy, very healthy, and I feel like they taste pretty good. I'm not a big potato fan, but I love sweet potatoes. Very easy, you just cut it up, you put it in the oven, air fryer, etc. And it goes well with basically everything, and I'm not a nutritionist, but they say sweet potatoes is one of the healthiest foods out there, So sometimes I just hear something, people sweet potatoes, eat some sweet potatoes, and I'm like, sure, man, I guess it's healthy. That's a lot. Actually, you know what I can do? I'll do something even easier. So the cheapest thing you can get when you want chicken and at the convenience is, where are there right over here. They're rotisseries. So I'll say this is usually the cheapest, and this is great because you know, it's only $5, and this is a good enough meat for at least 3 meals. So if you want like a really easy thing, get a rotisserie chicken. So I'll get that with rice, maybe get some broccoli, sweet potatoes. And like I said, you know, it's simple, it's already cooked. You know, I like eating these, especially if I don't have that much time to get like some calories in before a big workout, before a double threshold. You know, these are just good to like just have. You gotta make sure you refrigerate them, but if you need a lot of like calories and protein, this is a really quick thing you can do. I try to like get less processed stuff and more, you know, fresh. But you know, once in a while, you need to have something very quick. So the biggest carb I get is from both bread and rice. You'll see, I love jasmine rice. I eat rice every single day.
Really?
And that's like one of my, especially for like dinner. So it's one of my big carb source.
Tell us what's a typical day of meals at home.
And I would say 3 solid meals and definitely some snacking. So like I said, every day I do at least 2 runs. So you need to have a breakfast, an immediate snack afterwards, maybe a little more of a lunch, and then definitely a good dinner. So it depends, you know, some days you're burning upwards of 5,000 calories, so you need to eat at least like close to that. So you can be eating quite a bit. One thing is you want to eat a lot because that's when you'll feel good, and you need to feel good because to be a fast runner, you need good workouts. And if you're not properly fueled, you will not be having good workouts. I always tell people like, you know, you want to have a routine that'll work. Have food that's simple and easy. Like, you know, when it comes to salads, I'm not gonna like make a salad. I'm just gonna eat something that's already pre-made. Everything is like, you know, easy and convenient. Like sweet potatoes, you can make that in like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes. All you have to do is chop it up and then you're done. And, you know, try to like have small changes. Don't have, you know, very dramatic. I think some people try too hard and then they just can't maintain it, you know? And I don't know, just try to like do everything like kind of on a budget. I don't feel like you need to spend so much money.
And what was eating like before you burst onto the scene?
You know, back in the day, I used to, you know, I would be able to eat with the patients, so they would supply me food. And so I was able to do that. And even before I worked there, I worked at a burger place. So at the time, there was a time for around like a year, I ate like a burger with fries every single day. But I do notice now that the diet is at the absolute best. And I do notice a difference. I feel like I have a little more energy, I'm a little leaner, it's easier to support more muscle. And I think a lot of that is just like keeping a lot of garbage out, eating in more, and eating a lot of like chicken and salmon, trying to eat that almost like every single day, so.
Okay, what else are we missing?
My favorite nut, I love pistachios. I've been eating pistachios basically every day for a while. I think it's a good snack, good amount of protein. I'm a big yogurt eater. Every morning I'll have my same old breakfast, and that is, I'll get some yogurt, and then I'll get some oatmeal, and then I'll have it with some berries, and then you know, I might sprinkle a little bit of maple syrup with milk.
And what about a go-to meal?
All right, this is the best lunch food you can get. All you gotta do is get some bread and some eggs. There you go. If you get back from a workout, nothing better than eggs and bread, man. Maybe if you're feeling a little ambitious, have a little bit of a salad. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been someone that hated vegetables, but I try to like just eat vegetables as much as I can. But I'm telling you, if you're a runner, you got to make sure you want to have. I've always learned that wherever you weigh, that's the amount of grams of protein you need in a day. Now that you see me shop, I gotta go.